Hello everyone and welcome back to a football forecast. In today's video I'm going to be going through all my Champions League predictions for Matchday 3. If you enjoy this video, it would be great if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel. Starting off with Barcelona Olympiacos. I'm not going to waste anybody's time here. Barcelona are a very strong side, as we saw. Despite losing to PSG, we still know Barcelona the quality and definitely too much for Olympiacos. And I'm going to go with a 5-0 win for Barcelona. Then on to Carrot Paphos, and look, I don't watch either of these sides on a weekly basis. I'm just going to bet the home side for this game with a 1-0 win to Carrot. On to Arsenal, Atletico Madrid. I mean, this is going to be an interesting game because you've got two sides here who definitely have the ability to play a bit more of a defensive style of football. I think Arsenal, though, here are going to be the aggressor. They're going to be the more attacking side. And I do think Atletico Madrid will probably sit in and look for those chances on the counter-attack, similar to what they did against Liverpool. The difference in that game was, though, how quickly Liverpool started. And it sort of created, I think, a lot better game. Marcos Llorente was absolutely brilliant in that game. Julian Alvarez will be a massive threat up front. But I actually think Arsenal just have too much defensive quality. And I think they'll be able to deal with most of what Atletico offers. So for that reason, I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Arsenal. On to Leverkusen PSG. PSG are such a good side. One of the best sides in the world. In fact, I would say the best side in the world. I think they proved that against Barcelona. They proved that last season. PSG are incredible. And I think they're going to show this quality with a 4-0 win over Leverkusen. I believe PSG are that good of a side. On to Copenhagen Dortmund. And Copenhagen can be a very difficult place to go. So can Dortmund, but obviously Copenhagen are at home for this game. And I actually think Copenhagen can take something from this game. I think this will be a very good game, and I think it will finish 2-2. Moving on to Newcastle Benfica, and it's fair to say Newcastle have had mixed form so far this season. They've looked alright in some games, but I think for this sort of game, a Champions League home game, they will get up for this. I think the crowd will be rocking and they'll win this game 3-1. On to PSV and Napoli. Napoli, I mean, I really like this squad. They've got McTominay, they've got De Bruyne, they've got Højlund who's playing well. They've got a very decent squad right now, Napoli and Serie A. They've got Zambo and Gisa. They've got some good players, Napoli, and they look very likely to win the Scudetto this year. They're very much going to be up in the top runners for it. And I think Napoli will win this game. Look, Conte can struggle in the Champions League, but I think they will win this game 2-1 against PSV. On to Union Saint-Gilloise, Inter Milan. Union Saint-Gilloise really struggled in their last Champions League game against Newcastle United. And I think their struggles are going to continue against Inter. And I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Inter against Union Saint-Gilloise. Villarreal, Manchester City. Manchester City have been impressive in the Premier League so far. They currently lie in second place as of recording, and I think they've started to look a lot more defensively solid. Haaland, I think, is at almost his best he's ever been at. His link-up play is so much better. He's still finishing all those chances. He's still got that pace. And he's just an incredible number 9. And I think this will be a simple win for City. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win. On to Frankfurt, Liverpool. This was recorded before the Liverpool-Manchester United game, so I don't know what really happened in that game. I think either way, this is going to be a difficult game for Liverpool. There's only a couple of days break. We've had some injury concerns. Alisson is out. We don't know what injuries we'll take from the United game. It's probably going to be quite grueling. Big intensity, massive game. And in general, we just don't look like the team that we were, I guess, last season, or I would say before Christmas last year. After that, I think we started to sort of drop off, and now we've sort of reached, I think, an absolute pit at the bottom where we just don't look like the side that we once were. For this game, though, I am going to back a Liverpool win. I think we are good enough to beat a side like Frankfurt, but not convincingly. I'm going to go with a close 2-1 win. Bilbao, Karabag, and I think Karabag are going to get something from this. You know why? Because they've made a very impressive start to their Champions League campaign so far. They got a win away at Benfica. Bilbao are a very decent team, especially at home, but they've struggled so far in the Champions League. They've lost their first 2 games, and I think this is going to result in a 2-2 draw. On to Galatasaray, Bodo, two sides that are very much teams I think that will be reliant on home form. Galatasaray were so impressive against Liverpool at home, and we saw how difficult it was for Liverpool going to Galatasaray. Welcome to hell, and I think that's sort of what we're going to get again. I think it's going to be a home win for Galatasaray, this time more convincing though, in a 3-1 win. On to Atalanta, Slavia Prague, and I think it's fair to say Atalanta have a lot more quality than Slavia Prague going into this game, and I think Atalanta are going to prove this. They're the home side as well, and for that reason, I think Atalanta will win this game, and I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Atalanta. On to Chelsea Ajax, and Ajax have made a poor start to this Champions League season. They've lost their first 2 games. Chelsea, not the best start. They've won one, lost one. They won against Benfica at home, and I think their home form is going to continue. This time a bit more of a convincing win, though. Ajax are not really the team they once were, and I'm going to go over 2-0 win for Chelsea. Then on to what I'd describe as a Champions League classic for the last sort of 10-15 years. These two have met in finals, and this just feels like a proper Champions League game. But unfortunately, just Juventus aren't where they used to be. They aren't in their pomp anymore. Real Madrid, I wouldn't say are in their pomp either, but they're still a way better side than Juventus, and I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Real Madrid. Then we have Sporting Marseille. Marseille have been really impressive so far in Liga, and they currently lie in first place. Sporting, not so impressive in the Portuguese league. They're doing a reasonably good job, but I do think Marseille are going to win this game. I'm going to go with a away win for Marseille, 2-1. So that is the end of the video. This was just a short, quick YouTube video where I was just going through each of my predictions for the games. There's going to be some full previews as well, actually, where I preview the Liverpool-Frankfurt game and the Arsenal-Atletico Madrid game. So subscribe if you want to see those videos, as well as turning on notifications so you can watch the video as soon as it comes out.